On the line. We're gonna go in with Joe Pace first. Hey.
Hello.
We live. Y'all cute. All right. I will bless the Lord at all times. That was good, wasn't it, y'all?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey,
Happy
Lisa,
Father's
you need to
Day.
speak up a little bit.
Okay. Happy Father's Day, y'all, and happy Juneteenth.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they getting their volume adjusted over there. I'm trying to get in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm trying to
Can
get
you
in the
hear?
middle.
Can you hear
But
better?
uh
You hear better?
a little bit better. I can hear Cassie better than I can hear you.
Really? That's weird. I'm the one right in front of the mic.
Right. Well, let me say this. The reason I put that song on, about 2 hours ago, my daughter called me, and we'll get into Father's Day and Juneteenth. But she called me and she said she had a blowout on the side of the road. And so with that being said, it's so funny because sometimes you be thinking about your kids, you just start praying for them, and you don't know why. Not just your kids, but people, you start really praying for them. And it was so funny because I just got out the shower, and while I was in the shower, I was praying for my kids. So anyway, that was why I said I will bless the Lord at all times, because what we have to do is we have to listen to the Spirit of God and intercede and pray. And y'all see, she okay? Wait, Cassie, she fine. She okay. So that song came right in my spirit after she called me. She said, Mama, don't worry. Y'all, they be trying to protect me. They be trying to look out for me. And they don't want to hold nothing from me because they know I'm going to get mad. You got to undo your mic to talk, Diddy, Cassie.
I told the Amber, I was like, I'm not going to tell Mama until we get off the highway.
You have to get your mic. You got to mute it. You got your mic muted.
She talking on mine. Can you hear her?
A little bit, yeah.
I was telling the Amber, I said, can you hear me, Mama?
Yeah, this is not good.
Okay. Come on. I was telling the Amber.
That's better.
I was telling the Amber, I was like, I'm not gonna tell Mama. I'm not gonna let her know right now because we on this highway, we nervous, right? And I was like, I'm gonna wait till we get off the highway and let her know. And we were on that highway for so long. I said, let me tell her just in case. You hear me? Let me just call her, because these cars, some of them was waiting to the last minute to get over. And they was real close. And I'm like, oh, they too close for comfort. I'm over here, and then I'm sitting in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat, just in case. And then I'm like, hold on, do I want to really be in the passenger seat? Mm-hmm. I'm like, because then I'd be squished between this rail and, I'm like, hold on, where do I want to be right now? I wanted to get in the truck with the NTTA, the NTTA man.
Yeah.
Like, hold my hand.
But we are here. We are here. So, of course, you guys know it's a very important day for two reasons: Father's Day and Juneteenth.
Okay.
You got your mic muted, Mama.
I unmuted it.
Okay.
And I can hear y'all better. I got the volume up. It was operator error on this side. I can hear y'all real good now.
Yes, ma'am.
So anyway, Juneteenth and Father's Day. Wow. We celebrating both of those. Is that right?
Right.
So wow. So today y'all got some good music y'all sent me.
Yes, the Amber.
Yes, yes. I got a little bit of Maverick City and some Father's Day mixed in with it. We just gonna celebrate. And I actually, our gospel great today is the father of gospel, who is Thomas A. Dorsey, which I'll be honest, he was way before our time.
Right.
But he definitely made some major contributions to the gospel industry. And that's why we're going to honor him today.
Yeah.
We're going to honor him today.
People wouldn't have never heard of mass choirs if it wasn't for Thomas Dorsey.
Yes.
The church almost thought he had like a cult going on, because what he was doing was taking different people from different churches and taking them out of churches.
Right.
To go sing together. So they thought he was trying to take their members. They were like, what are you doing? And then he got that old jazzy R&B blues sound. Mm-hmm. We ain't trying to do all that. The church wasn't trying to do that. So he kind of put the door in for some of the other ones that y'all talk about, like Kirk Franklin.
Right.
Donnie McClurkin. Gosh, if they would have done like Kurt Franklin, like been playing their music in the club, they would have said he was going to hell backwards. They probably already did.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
he
song y'all? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. He actually penned over 3,000 songs.
Mm-hmm.
A third of those were gospel, though, because before he went into gospel, he was a blues singer, and he was actually on tour with Ma Rainey. You know, the one who they just made a movie with her. And
Right,
then
right.
he transitioned to gospel after he kind of went through a depression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it even says that he contemplated not living anymore.
Right.
But he had a spiritual awakening, and when he did, he started making gospel music, and he kind of just dedicated his life to that.
Mm-hmm.
And he toured all around the world, teaching choirs different songs, and teach, just doing things with different churches. So he was definitely a gospel great. Definitely a gospel great.
Definitely. We're going to ask y'all if y'all know, the people that are listening, what is one of the most famous songs that Thomas Dorsey wrote? So we're going to let y'all think about that while we go to the song, because there's one song that every church member
should know.
Ever. And then we'll tell you the story behind it. But what song you want to go to? Let's go to a Father's Day song. How about Futures? How about Futures Father's Day?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I can never make you love me more. No matter what I do, your love is sure. Gave away your only son for me. The heart on display for all to see. I can never make you walk away. The value makes me will never change. The promise of your love is forever. It's greater than my words could ever say. Father's love, Father's love, the life in me, wherever I be. You always find for my future. I can see you working for my good. Come to me and meet me where I am. In your arms, find my strength again. The Father's love, the Father's love, life in me. Where I be, the Father's love, the Father's love, for me is all I need. The Father's
right. The Father's love. Man. Whew. That's really deep on this Father's Day because a lot of people don't have an earthly father.
Right.
Yes.
But one of the things, and sometimes people relate to because they feel the absence maybe of their earthly father, they reflect that same belief on the Father, and they think
Right.
that he's not going to be there, but he is there, and that's something that we need to know. My daddy wasn't there, growing up, he wasn't there, and but I honor fathers because I've seen great examples. I think you had put it out there today,
Right.
dear, but like my brother, a great example of a father. And just like mothers, they're not perfect,
Right.
but they're committed. They're
Right.
committed to the cause. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Amen to
like.
that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about the father of gospel. Sometimes you gotta adopt you a father. If you feel like you ain't got an earthly father, maybe you can just listen to the father of gospel.
Right.
But the father of gospel, which is Thomas A. Dorsey, if you haven't been listening and don't know, he wrote a few songs that were very, very popular. When I've Done My Best, Search Me, Lord, and If I Could Hear My Mother Pray. He also, Mama was talking about how he did the national, the mass choirs.
Right.
He co-founded the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Choruses in 1933, so way before my time. The golden age of gospel, he was a father of the golden age of gospel along with Mahalia Jackson. So him and Mahalia Jackson actually did a lot of work together. So they were like buddy buddy. He went from Ma Rainey to Mahalia Jackson when he got on the spiritual side. He worked and trained Sally Martin, Mahalia Jackson, Roberta Martin, James Cleveland. So some of the greats, he was responsible for kind of training a lot of the greats. He combined the good news of gospel with the bad news of blues. So they kind of said his style had a little bit of blues to it, I guess, a little bit, just a little hint of it. Beginning in 1926, Dorsey was plagued by his 2 years of depression, and that is when he experienced his spiritual reinvigoration in 1928. And he decided to dedicate his life to God and to spreading the good news of gospel. And I've never read up on this. Many gospel graces we've done, I've never seen one who went so many places with his message of gospel. I mean, it said he was in Brazil. He was all over the place with his message of gospel. I couldn't even name all the places that he was, that he went and made his mark. So he definitely is somebody that I enjoyed learning about. And I have a few more things about him. But I want to kind of let y'all chime in. And Mama, tell us what's that song that's supposed to be the one.
The song that is the most popular, and they say it's the most popular in any church, is Precious Lord.
Lord.
Take my hand.
I knew that's what it was.
And Precious Lord, let me tell you the story behind that, because he did have the conversion. While he was out traveling, his wife was giving birth to a child of his. And the wife did not make it. I don't think the child made it. And so it really left him in a place of depression. And so that's when he penned the words, Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I'm tired and I'm weak. And how many times have we heard that song and didn't know why it was written? But he wrote that because of the loss of his wife. And so it became the most famous song that he wrote. And so every church, you done heard people get them singing. Some folks get them singing good. Some folks just get them singing. But it is the most well-known song that he had.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
yeah, we can put that one in there in just a minute. But that's good. The father of gospel. Thomas.
Right, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all want to go to another song?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
How about Through the Eyes of My Father?
Okay,
Yes.
that's a good one.
All right.
From the start, you were first. He loves you at your worst. He'll do anything. Father, he shows you what love is. Saw your dreams before you did. He'll give everything. Like your heavenly Father, I see God in the Father's eyes. I see God. Our Father's like the Father in the way He loves you. Our Father's like the Father when He carries you through. I am my Father's daughter, as I'm loving another. See love from my Father in heaven. The eyes of my Father on earth. A strong hand is your guide. Through His strength by your side, you'll give anything. A Father feels your pain when you do, has the words to give you. He is everything. Like your heavenly Father, I see love in my Father's eyes. I see love. Our Father's like the Father in the way He loves you. A Father's like the Father when He carries you through. I am my Father's daughter, as I'm loving another. See love from the Father and found the eyes of my Father on earth. I see God in my Father's eyes. I see God, our Father's like the Father in the way He loves you. Our Father's like the Father when He carries you through. I am my Father's daughter, as I'm loving another. See love from my Father in heaven. The eyes of my Father on earth.
All right. So I have a question for you two. Now, and my girls were raised by me, a single parent, but they got to spend time with their father. What is the best memory you can think of with your father?
The best memory I can think of with my father is I was able to plan his birthday, the last birthday he was alive, and we went to Poe Melvin's.
Uh-huh.
Everybody went to Poe Melvin's. His grandkids were there. He only had 2 at the time.
Right.
I mean, some of my cousins were there. Their children were there. And he went home and I ordered him a cake and he thought it was beautiful.
Uh,
Another thing I love though is he would make the best blackened pork chops. So I love that was a good memory too. Coming home
uh,
from work when he lived with me because I really got to know my father and get a relationship with him in the last 2 years of his life. So he would cook different things, and that was always so. It was good to be able to taste a different style of food because
Right.
we grew up on mom's food, and we
Right.
shared our love of sweet tea
Uh,
together, and things like that.
right.
But my favorite was when he came home after Po Melvin's and he got to see his cake, and he just thought it was the prettiest cake, and
Right.
compared to cakes we have now. It was just a chocolate cake
Simple.
that was pretty and had blue writing on it, but he thought it was the prettiest cake that he didn't want to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, we're gonna cut this because
Right. We eat this.
we're gonna eat this one. But yeah, so those were my favorite memories of my father. How about you, Miss Kathy?
Hey, Pat, how you doing?
Hi, Pat.
But I would have to say it was probably the cooking, because he used to teach me how to cook the stuff he made. Like I used to watch him with his spaghetti. He made the best spaghetti, and he made the best beans.
I knew she was going to say the beans because she used to say, "Oh, Daddy."
Yeah, he made the best spaghetti and the best beans. They were like Mama's be good. Don't get me wrong, but
another thing
his beans.
Another thing that was really enjoyable was, remember that birthday we went to? All of us were together at Papa Do's for Marche's birthday.
Oh yeah.
And what was even better is that it ended up being free because they messed up on the order. Remember that?
Right.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was the first time that I took a picture with Daddy and you together.
Yeah. And let me just say this too. This is one of the things that people out there should know. Sometimes you may not, as a child, remember your father because, like I said, I was a single parent. But don't close that door because if you notice, there are still memories that will be able to be created.
Right.
And sometimes it's the children reaching out to the father instead of the father reaching out to the children. It's nothing wrong with that, y'all. That's what love does. Right. You don't hold grudges, you forgive and you move on and you enjoy life and create memories. So that's an awesome thing. It's so funny I'll say that because the most I remember about my father, he taught me to make the best ham and cheese sandwich.
All I want to eat.
All I want to eat. And he was a chef, he could cook, but he made the best ham and cheese. And so when I make my ham and cheese sandwich now, I still can't get it, but I remember that sandwich.
Right.
And the other thing is that we used to play pool all the time. He taught me how to play pool. So those are some of the things that I remember about my father. And a lot of it was me reaching out to him instead of him reaching out to me. But the thing of it is, I have memories because I wasn't so angry that I couldn't reach out.
Yes.
So if y'all will tell some good things that you remember, the one thing you remember about your father, Pat, I see you there. I know you were really close to your father. But the one thing that you really remember about your father that you like to share with us. Y'all, did you have some more you want to say on Thomas Sawyer? Because I'm going to go to the next song now.
Well, it's I wanted to tell you guys that he was the head of the NGCC, which is where he traveled what they call the Gospel Highway, which is a circuit of churches. And we kind of already talked about that in just conversation, but it was called the good term for it was the Gospel Highway Circuit of Churches. So that's what it stands for. Gospel Circuit of Churches or whatnot, the name the acronym. So that was interesting to know.
Right. That's something that's really.
And Pat, I wish your father was here to teach me how to change a flat.
She had one today, a blowout.
Yes.
Horrible blowout.
On the highway in a very scary lane.
Yes. But that's something, and I see why you're missing your father. They teach us, that's something else. They teach us such valuable lessons. And sometimes he probably say, come on, let me show you how to change your flat. You probably like, oh, Lord. And on days like today, like Cassidy said, it would be a blessing. So
I was on that highway. I was scared to get out the car, though. If I knew how, I probably wouldn't change it.
Right. And he taught you how to treat people the way I want to be treated. That's very valuable too, because not just teaching us things, but giving us character.
Yes.
And that's something, giving us character. Those things that they may have learned through their life, but passing it down. That's what legacy is, passing it down to us. So giving us character, teaching us how to always treat people the way you want to be treated. You not trying to mess over nobody, and then you get mad when they try to mess over you, but doing the right thing. So that's a blessing. I like that.
Right.
All right then. So we're gonna go to another song, and this one is by Abachi. Father's Day song.
Which one?
Abochi. We finna find out what it is. No, right now.
Don't know how to marry, we just be worry. Daddies, them say all we do is to run away from the babies. Daddies, every day we do this and that. Them say we will not be responsible. No be everybody there like that. It just be funny, cause if man no there, if puppy no there, then wait till we get. If man no there, if man no there, how we go exist? Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man when they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man when they do everything for the family. Who say man no day? So who say man no day? See, if man no day, if puppy no day, then wait till we get. If man no day, if man no day, me and you no go day. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man when they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man when they do everything for the family. To be a man, eh? Oh, wow. Yeah, Papa, no one will get you my thing. And the share so put food on the table, paying the bills and all that. Yeah, be sure. One week and someone you're not refugee, then you're fine.
Hey, I like that little reggae flavor y'all got going on there.
Yes, that's it right there. Yeah.
Reggae. Y'all, if I start shining, my arrow went out, and I forgot to bring the fan in here with me. So,
Man,
and that's what's going on.
this ain't the time.
It's been doing.
Look, if this ain't the time to be shining.
I'm shining. I'm shining. Yeah. It's been going out like the last 3 days. The guy keep coming up with a new unit, so I don't know if they need to replace it or whatever. But anyway, so if I got a little mush, it's not because I'm excited or anything like that. It's just because Vaseline and
right. Make sure you're drinking you some water.
Look, real good and cold, girl. Oh, y'all, they be trying to take care of me. They really do. I love them. I love my girls. So anyway, now you said Father's Day, but let's talk about the other holiday because we like halfway through. Speaking of hot, back in 1776, was it 1776?
No, it was 1865.
1865. I'm
like 1776.
Was the celebration. It was Juneteenth, June 19th. For all those don't know about, was like, oh, Juneteenth. Like, what is that? June 19th. What happened, y'all? Tell me about it.
It commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S. and not all of the U.S., but in Galveston, the word came that we were actually free here in Texas. So we were the last slaves to be freed. Yeah. So it is the last day for the last slaves to get freed. And we all know that if one of us is not free, then all of us are not free. So that's the reason it's such an important day. Even though, you know, we still are not fully free, I would say we are free-ish. So it commemorates the last day that we got word that we were freed. And here in Texas, we were definitely the last ones. And so it's been a year now that it has been it's became a federal holiday.
National holiday.
Yeah, a national, yeah. So it's different because now everybody wants to know what it is. It's a little different. I feel like it's brought about awareness of what's going on because, you know, we put so much celebration into the Independence Day we've known all of our lives, but we get to know a little bit more about what true independence, you know, is.
Right.
And so actually Maverick City Music, the song that I have, he's going to kind of talk about it. So I'll let him finish telling you guys. But ways that you can celebrate Juneteenth are by celebrating and supporting Black-owned businesses. Yeah, so you can even stay hydrated on Juneteenth too. Stay hydrated. I think we should stay hydrated on Juneteenth because it's pretty hot. And dress up nice. You can wear your gear just to kind of show your culture. Eating good food. When I think of Juneteenth, for some reason I think of Kool-Aid, red Kool-Aid. So
well, that's because growing up, this is kind of the way we would celebrate. You would have red Kool-Aid, you would have watermelon, barbecue and chicken, and of course you had music. And what's some other things? Y'all put some other things.
What about some chili dogs?
Well,
we used to go to May Simmons. Remember, we used to go to May Simmons every year.
And they would have the horses, and they would have free barbecue. Just a lot of people come together to celebrate. Wasn't no shooting.
Yes.
Because now we can't go nowhere without shooting.
Yeah, without somebody acting crazy.
A lot of kids games and stuff like that, just to coming together of the community to celebrate. And before we go to your song here in Maverick City, I was listening to one guy said that when Juneteenth came, they celebrated on the 19th. Well, in Texas, they started telling them, no, they can't come tell you're free. So the 21st, they started trying to reinforce that they were not free, that slaves were not free. And he started telling them, no, that was a mistake. You're not free. And so it was, even though we were free, like free-ish, like the Amber said, free-ish, they were like, because you're not coming to mess with our slaves. That's our property. And they cannot be considered a human. So, like you said, with this being a national holiday, now it was on CNN and MSNBC. And it used to be, it was just in your neighborhood. So that awareness, and I heard one of the anchors on MSNBC, she said, I want you to really explain what it is. So,
I'm going to put that up there, free-ish. The word of the day.
Oh,
Ted over here helping us out.
Word of the day. Right, free-ish. So we still free-ish. In other words, moving toward a state of freedom. Add that in the dictionary, add that in there. Yeah. But we got some Maverick City. Let them tell you about what Juneteenth is. Let's listen to went back. Come on back here. Hold on, there we go.
People don't know what Juneteenth is. Let me give you a second so you can understand what Juneteenth is. June 19th. All right, in 1865, everybody was supposed to be free, but there was some people who didn't know they were free. In Texas, the people in Texas, they didn't know slavery was over, so if everybody's not free, then nobody's free, amen? And so on July 4th, there were certain people who could not celebrate independence. Their independence came on June 19th. And so we can sit here and say, man, we love the freedom that we get to experience as believers, but there are certain people out there that don't have the freedom that we get to experience, and we want them to experience that as well. Well, in 1865, everybody needed to experience the freedom that they should have gotten, and they didn't get that. And so in this day and age, we want to celebrate everyone's freedom. We want to celebrate the reality that God created us equal, that we are all humanity, that we are all God's children, and we all deserve to enjoy the taste and see that God is good.
Yes.
Nobody should have that deprived of them. And so that's why we're here today. We're here to celebrate the reality that, man, God's people were set free. They were set free. Goodness and mercy pursued them, and they were set free. They were liberated, and that's something that we celebrate. If we can celebrate July 4th, we got to celebrate Juneteenth.
We all free-ish.
So, y'all, it's so much bigger than that, because we're not just celebrating days. We're celebrating that image bearers. People made in the image of God could now taste and see how good God is, could now dance in the streets together, hold hands, and it wasn't complete freedom. It obviously takes a minute. But we're still here today to work toward that reality. We're here today to celebrate what our ancestors couldn't celebrate, right? And we're here today to celebrate a bigger reality, that even though some of us have been removed from slavery in an instant, that it sometimes takes a lifetime to get the slavery out of us. Sometimes that mentality still has to be removed from us. And there are people here today, black and brown faces, who need to believe that they are free, that they have the same rights, the same liberty that God has given everybody. And you know how they experience that? By love being demonstrated, by empathy being demonstrated, by graciousness being demonstrated, by everybody being treated as God's image bearers. All right. I remember when sin was.
All right. That's a message. That is an awesome message, because, like he said, if I'm not, I can't be celebrating being free if you're not free. We don't have the same, we don't understand, we have the same rights. We have the same Spirit of God running through me, whether I'm white, whether I'm black, whether I'm Hispanic, whether I'm Chinese. Our Father, speaking of Father's Day, is over us. And we have a part of him in him, no matter what color our skin is. And so if my white brothers are free and my Chinese brothers are not free, or if my Hispanic sisters and brothers are free and I'm not free, we not free.
All right.
The weakest link, honey, in a chain, the weakest link will cause that chain to collapse. And that's something we really need to remember. We are free. He said that the Bible says, and the truth shall set you free, and you'll be free indeed. Mm-hmm. So if we don't walk in truth, we're not walking in freedom. And the truth is, we shouldn't have never been slaves. But the truth is, we're no longer slaves. Some of y'all just didn't get the message on, what year was that, 1865? Juneteenth, 1865?
June 19th, 1865.
19th, 1865. Get the message. Some of you are late.
Right.
Yeah. Some of you late. We get it, the message. My freedom is as important as yours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted to look in the camera and say that. And we have to understand that even with amongst ourselves, you know, we have to understand we're free. We're free. Free to love one another. I know I got off on a message there, but that young man right there, that was Maverick City Jubilee Juneteenth edition album side A.
And it is actually an entire album. It's an hour long. So if you want to just today listen to some Juneteenth music, I was thinking maybe we would play the first song. I don't know though, because time is, getting a little short, but it's an entire album and it's a good piece. It's a very good piece.
That first song, we can play that first song.
Okay,
we'll go into that. I didn't want to know where they wanted me to stop it, y'all. I didn't know. Here we go.
I remember when wrong was wrong. I remember when we all fell short and got back up much quicker than before. Yes. Well, I'm praying that you open our eyes. Praying that you open our eyes again. Father, please open our eyes. Father, please open our eyes again. See, I remember when we had respect. Ooh, nah, nah. I remember when my mother said no. That's exactly what she meant, and then she followed up and said, because I told you so. I'm praying that you open our eyes. I'm praying that you open our eyes again. Oh, Father, please open our eyes. Father, please open our eyes again.
You can take what's wrong and you can make it right with some holy conviction, a little love and correction. You can take these burdens and give us one last night. So here I am, Jesus. You can make it right. Yeah.
You can take what's wrong,
You can make it right.
you can make it right. With some holy conviction, a little love and correction. You can take these burdens and give us one last
So
night.
here I am, Jesus.
Here I
You can
am,
make it
Jesus.
right.
Oh, here I am,
You can
Jesus.
take what's wrong.
Take what's wrong,
You can make it right.
make it right.
Oh, yeah.
Some holy conviction, a little love and correction.
You can take me right.
You can take these burdens.
Give me one. So here I am.
Here I am, Jesus.
You can make it right. I don't know who's listening right now, but you're gonna know in your spirit. You take your burdens and you can make it, you can make it, you can make it. You take yours and you make it right.
All right, that's a Maverick City, Caleb. Calm. You can take what's wrong and make it right. That's what he did in 1865. Y'all, sometimes we'll be going through stuff and you, Lord, when you gonna come through?
Right.
When you gonna make it better? But he can take that which is wrong, when people do you wrong, and he can make it right.
Mm-hmm.
He can make it
Yes.
repent.
Most definitely.
Those families that celebrated having slaves, and now they are marching in Juneteenth because they didn't know. When you know better, well,
Right.
that message that Bishop Jacobs preached, he said, when you know better, you do better. Not always, because a lot of
Right.
things we know, we don't do better. Those
Right.
people, man, I'm not going to give up these black folks that's working my fields.
Right.
No, I ain't gonna do
Right.
it. I know they probably do need to be free. Yeah, I love them, but they the ones working my fields. That's my money. And
Right.
I don't want to let my money go.
Now, can you imagine though, as a slave, how it felt to feel how it felt to hear the news
Oh,
that you
right.
were free?
celebrate like that red Kool-Aid, you remember?
Yes.
They come by your house and they say, "You not a slave no more. You're free, baby. Put some meat on the grill.
Right.
Let's get some red Kool-Aid. Bust them watermelons open.
Right.
I have some
Happy.
shit. We would do that.
Celebrating.
Let's celebrate because we're no longer. I've been, and you think about it, you've been whatever your age is. If I was 64, I've been a slave for 64 years. Now I'm free.
Right. Now you free-ish, you know what I'm saying?
Free-ish. Because they gonna tell you you're not free.
Yeah.
But you free. And now you don't. A lot of times we don't know what to do with that freedom, and it's like, gosh, I've been working under this person so long. What else do I do? And that's
Right.
how we are. Just not even just to our color, but a lot of things. Sometimes we get so bound we don't understand what freedom is. So we just free-ish.
Right.
You know, we should have named the show free-ish.
Right.
but you just kind of free it. So that's good. That's really good. What else y'all got to say about Juneteenth?
Well, teach your kids about it. Let them help them to understand. They have a wonderful series for children that are, in school age called Addie, and it basically details the her escape into freedom to actually learn that they were free on the day that they were set free, the Emancipation Proclamation. So there are books out there for your children to read, and make sure that you just don't rely on teachers to educate them about our history, because they say if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. So educate your children.
Most definitely. We're going to have the Amber educate ours.
I like what you said. If you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. So you don't understand and appreciate freedom. If you don't know that, you don't have a grasp of it. If you don't know, we just take it for granted. But I think about it, y'all's grandfather was a first generation free man because his parents were slaves, sugar babies. And he had a second or third grade. I think he went to the third grade and had to drop out then because God, he wasn't so free. But with that being said, he was able to read. A lot of them weren't because they didn't want you to have no knowledge. And so he would read the Bible. He taught himself to read. And he taught himself to read by reading the Bible. He read it every day that I knew him. He read the Bible, sick, well, or whatever. And that was him exercising his freedom, learning to read. So we need to learn to exercise that freedom. I got a song here with Eddie James called Freedom. Is that what we're going out with?
That's what we're going to go out with. But y'all make sure y'all tune in Wednesday at noon for the Love Cafe with Jazzy Senior.
Yes.
Oh, and y'all see our beautiful background?
Yes. Turn the camera. Oh, y'all, you can see all of it. Y'all got me in the middle of it there. Yeah. Happy Father's Day. Isn't that nice? These girls love doing this. I really appreciate them week after week. And they got a special banner for the fathers. And so, one other thing I want to say too, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube, Love Cafe Radio. And then this month, instead of cooking, I'm kind of in transition doing whatever. We're giving water. We're donating water because I saw a young lady, McQueen, was out there and a young man was dehydrating and they had to pour water in his mouth. The very essence of what we have free. And so we're donating $100 worth of water to McQueen Foundation. Anything over there, we're donating the under 100 to 2 Fish and 5 Loaves. They're out there on the front lines. And so we're out there giving out water. We can at least donate. And so this month we won't be giving food, we'll be giving water because your girl
donate.
Donate. Zelle is lovecaferadio@gmail.com. Cash App is $19 Jazz1958. So if y'all will do that, $10 will get you 3. If you give $10, if 10 people give $10, that'll get you 10. What's 3 times 10, y'all?
30.
30 cases of water. And, we can give that out there. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just in here in the warm, just a little bit of air. And this water is so refreshing, but just thinking that's where I lived, out there in the streets. So it's worth $1,000. And all I'm asking you is if you can, each person donate $10. And you can do it on our Cash App or the Zelle. Okay?
Yes, donate.
We're going to y'all song Freedom now.
Yes.
All right. What you got? What you doing? Oh.
I'm like, what's she doing?
Donate.
I'm thinking it's a fly. I'm thinking she got a fly. She's trying to get off of the
look. Can I do it?
Yeah, you can't. You got to do it now. Donate.
There you go.
I'm letting them see the Happy Father's Day.
I want to clap a little louder than before. I want to sing a little louder than before. I want to jump high. I want to spin wilder than before. I want to shout louder. I want to say, freedom, I want to lift my hands higher than before. I want to love you more than before. I want to worship deeper than before. I gotta scream louder. Yeah. Freedom.
Well, I tell you what, we enjoyed y'all today. We don't know what happened to DJ Cass. She probably go went to check on baby's kids. Anyway, but we want to just wish all there she come. We want to wish all of the fathers a blessed and happy Father's Day. And remember, it's never too late.
Never.
Never too late. So, we thank y'all for sharing y'all's information about your fathers, or you, Pat. Thank y'all for sharing that. Also, go enjoy your Juneteenth. Enjoy your freedom. Walk in your freedom.
Yes.
What's she doing over there? All right, we up out of here. We're going to finish it out for freedom, and we up out of here. Okay.